Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. Finally, it feels so good to be back at home. So yes guys, I'm back to Vancouver and it was very insightful travel. I will be making a separate vlog of that and I will talk extensively about that. Now talking about, just because if you are a researcher, you are so much fascinated with this field. So even when I was in the flight, the whole time I was making a list of like these all are the transit I need to talk about. I need to make video the minute I will land back. And these are the case study topics over which also I need to share my inputs. So one such was talking about planetary placements in different divisional chart, and then somehow I realized that I have already been talking about or being explaining planets being placed in different divisional chart, but have I also talked about the parameters on which we need to assess the divisional chart? So I just thought in this small short video we can look at divisional chart, like the kind of approach which you need to follow. Obviously guys, if you will be interested in learning astrology from me, so the classes which I conduct over there, I explain that in a very elaborative way. But if let's say for example you do not have that much of the time, so at least if you have the parameters or the manual of any new application, any new electrical appliances clear in front of you in your mind, then you will approach that divisional chart with clarity. Because guys, otherwise what happens is that too much information somehow also, rather than giving you clarity, it starts creating confusion as well. So if you have to approach any of the concerns of marriage, you know that I need to look at the 7th house in my ascendant chart, 7th lord in my ascendant chart. But once you open the D9 chart, any other chart which tells about the marriage, over there you will find the planet, the 7th lord, as the planet which is completely in contradiction. Then in those kind of situation people get confused. So in this video we will just try to understand that when you are approaching a divisional chart, what is the rules and regulation which you need to follow, what kind of information you can get from that specific divisional chart. Because if I were to say a couple of things or the two things which gives this sort of leverage to Vedic astrology over its competitors are, the very first thing is the precise and elaborative use of nakshatras in Vedic astrology, and second is about the divisional chart. So guys, for all those who are just starting off with their like journey in astrology, so when I say divisional chart in a very layman language, it simply means the further classification of the Rashi chart. So that means if you have to give or if you have to find any information pertaining to someone's career in the main ascendant chart, the 10th house will give information about that. But if you want further more clarity, that in which organization I will work, how much is the reputation and respect I will get, in which antardasha especially my career will rise, so you can further classify that 10th house of your ascendant chart, and then you will get this D10 chart, or which is also called as the Dasamsa chart. Although they're like many divisional chart, but generally the Shadvarga, when we say the most important divisional charts are your D2 chart or the Hora chart, D3 chart, which tells about your courage, your relationship with your brothers, D7 chart which tells about your progeny, D9 chart which tells about your marriage and your fortune, D12 chart which tells about your family lineage, and D30 chart which tells about the fortune and miseries which you have to be careful about. Now let's start our discussion that while approaching any division chart, which all areas which you have to give attention. So whenever you are opening up any divisional chart, for this discussion's sake, let's say you opened up the D9 chart. So guys, the very first thing is that the sign which is rising in the first house of the D9 chart, that becomes very important. Like this is one such approach which is equally applicable for majority of the divisional chart. Any divisional chart which you open, what is happening in the first house will give you 80% of the information. Now, even while assessing that divisional chart, you cannot overlook the connection which it establishes with the parent chart, which is your main ascendant chart. So if you have opened up the D9 chart, the very first thing which you have to see, that the sign which has there in the first house of that divisional chart, like for this example D9 chart, where the same first house sign falls in the main Lagan chart. Second thing is that which all planets are being there in the first house of that divisional chart. You also have to give attention that the planet, like in the D9 chart, which becomes your first house lord, is this planet in a strengthened state in the main ascendant chart? Was this planet combust in the main ascendant chart? Was this planet placed in the 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, or debilitated in the main ascendant chart? So all of that will become very, very important. Now guys, after establishing a connection with the first house sign in any specific divisional chart, the kind of rapport and relationship it has with the main ascendant chart. Now forget the main ascendant chart. Now just focusing on the divisional chart, you have to see that in that divisional chart where the first house lord is placed in the that divisional chart, because that will give you this direction that pertaining to the matters of that divisional chart. For D9 chart, if it is about marriage, where exactly the deeper reverberating energies of that divisional chart is taking you. So let's say for example, if in the main ascendant chart your 7th lord is placed in the 11th house, you will get this information that okay, my partner is going to be very social, there is going to be the wish fulfillment through the marriage. Or this could be a case that in the main ascendant chart the 7th lord has gone to the 12th house. Before, you never used to drink a lot, you have your expenses within your control, but now ever since you have got married in the last couple of years, now you have started drinking, now you have started smoking, you have started, the definition of the pleasure has gone through rapid transformation, and you're enjoying that, right? But all these kind of gratification, is that actually a path of your dharma, or this marriage is now distracting you? That you will get to know once you will see what exactly is happening in the D9 chart. And guys, those kind of information you will get to know while only giving attention to the first house. So let's say for example, if in the D9 chart as well, the first house in the D9 chart, the first house lord is placed in the 5th house and it is not afflicted, then we can say this thing that okay, the partner is giving you gratification, pleasure, but this could be some things which you have been craving from the past lifetime. Like in certain cases, this gratification is not actually leading you towards your fall. But if in the D9 chart the first sign lord has gone to the 8th house, then that is going to give us this indication that you are heading towards all these pleasure and gratification might be leading you towards chronic disease, towards deaths, or some sort of major stigma or major kind of problem or crisis. So because of that, the point which I am saying over here is that the first house of any divisional chart will become very important. That will give you this idea that where exactly the signification of this department is gonna take me. So for the D10 chart, it has to do with the career. For the D7 chart, it has to do with the progeny. It has to do with the children. So you have to give attention to the first house of that divisional chart. What kind of planets are placed in the first house of that divisional chart, and where exactly the first house lord of that divisional chart has gone and it is placed in that specific divisional chart. That becomes the most important. So guys, for any specific divisional chart, if I were to give a percentage to it, so 80% of the weightage will go towards the assessment of the first house, the Lagan of that divisional chart. After that, now obviously if you are approaching the D9 chart, so even in the D9 chart, the 7th house of the marriage, 9th house of your dharma, the Karaka houses will become very important. There is a significator planet, like for the D9 chart, it is like planet Venus, it is planet Jupiter. You have to give individual assessment to what is happening over there. If it is about D10 chart, it has to do with the your career. So after the first house in the D10 chart, the Dasamsa chart, you have to see what is happening in the 10th house of the Dasamsa or the D10 chart. Saturn is the significator. You have to see its placement if it's about D3 chart. So after giving assessment to the first house of the D3 chart, you have to see what exactly is happening in the 3rd house. What exactly is the state of the planet Mars? Because guys, like we live in a day and age, there are those instances and references where the brother is being responsible for the settlement of his younger sibling, and there have been those kind of cases where brother, like two brothers and siblings, are involved in very ugly court fight as well over the allocation of the family resources. So all of that deeper nuances and the true intent we get to know from doing the assessment of the divisional chart. So guys, the summary of the discussion which we had so far is that any divisional chart, first house, the planets being placed over there, what kind of relationship the first house sign of that divisional chart has, the reputation it has from the main ascendant chart, that will also become important. Now this could be a case that you have that planet debilitated and combust in that ascendant parent chart, and now that same planet is ruling the first house of that divisional chart. There's bound to be suffering which you might have to deal with, and where the first house sign lord is placed, that will become the most important. Now guys, the point number 2 for approaching or while working with any divisional chart is that lot many people have asked me about that, Nipun, what do you have to say on the yogas which we see in the main ascendant chart? Like this could be a case the dhan yoga, the wealth yoga, or this could be a case the raj yoga, the attainment of the power, prestige and influence in the society. So guys, when you are approaching or working on any specific divisional chart, all these yogas will work pertaining to the attributes being represented or the theme being represented by that divisional chart. So first of all, let's just try to understand what do I mean by the dhan yoga. Dhan yoga means the wealth yoga. We know this thing that dhan yogas are generally formed in our chart because of the contribution or combination of the second house, fifth house, ninth house and the 11th house. So those are the category of the dhan or the wealth yoga. When we talk about the raj yoga, the kingly combination, over there any of the conjunction and combination of the angular bhavas and the trine bhavas, they forms the raj yoga. So when you are approaching any of the divisional chart over there, these yogas will work according and they will benefit the theme represented by that division chart. So when you are looking at these dhan yoga or the raj yoga in the D7 chart of the progeny, so that is giving us more deeper information that your progeny might be wealthy, your progeny might have that status in the life. Now again guys, that is a different case. Like if you are living in a traditional community where your children live with you, that is a different case. But if you are living in that part of the world where once you turn 18, your kids are gonna go away, they're gonna settle down and they're gonna find their own destiny. So I mean to say, when you are approaching, you have to take into consideration the country culture era, like Desh Kal Patra, you have to take into consideration. But if you find Dhan Yoga and the Raj Yoga are equally applicable in the divisional chart, the only difference is that they get qualify more towards the person or the theme represented by that divisional chart. So for the D7 chart, these wealth and status might be connected to the children. D9 chart, this could be connected with your partner. Like someone asked me, Nipun, if it's about Dhan Yoga and the growth kind of thing, am I gonna have more marriages? Okay, that could also be a possibility, but generally if you have those kind of wealth kind of combination in the D9 chart, that will tell about the wealth aspect, the status aspect of your partner, or this could be of the marriage as well. D10 chart will give precise information regarding the career, the kind of money you will make through your career, the kind of status you're going to have. So you have to be very clear when you are looking at any Raj Yoga or Dhan Yoga in any divisional chart. They are equally applicable, they are valid. The only difference is that they will be more getting qualified for the person or the theme being represented by that divisional chart. Now guys, comes the third question. Lot many people ask me that Nipun, when it comes down to the transit, like do we have to see the transit results in the divisional chart? For which my answer is that yes, it becomes very important, but you cannot just restrict looking at it from the Mahadasha Lord planet's point of view. We know this thing that if you follow the Vimshotri Mahadashas and all, so like Saturn Dasha stays for 19 years, like Venus Dasha stays for 20 years. So do you actually feel that it is going to be giving you precise information? 19 years, 20 years is a long span of time. But yes, within that Mahadasha, the theme which that Mahadasha planet sets for you, the Antardasha has got a lot of information to contribute. So when you are running the Antardasha of any planet, you have to see the state and condition of that planet in specific divisional chart. So for example, if you're about to start the Mars Antardasha, the placement of Mars in the D10 chart will give you this information. D10 chart, which tells about your career, it will give you this information that in my this Antardasha, my career is going to go through this kind of like situation and scenarios, these kind of circumstances. If your Antardasha Lord planet is placed like while you are looking at its placement in the D9 chart, so that will tell about the pilgrimages, the way the marriage will go through its own share of ups and downs. D7 chart, it might tell about the way you will be parenting your children, your experiences around the children. So that's how you have to study or see the transit. Some people say that you have to look at it from the Mahadasha perspective as well, but that is going to be giving you very broadened information. You have to narrow it down. The planet whose Antardasha you are running, you have to see its placement in the divisional chart in its time period based on its strength, its dignity, its condition in that divisional chart. Your life will go through similar or those kind of experiences in the department being represented by that divisional chart. So yes guys, this was just a basic overview because I do have a lot of videos pertaining to these important precise topics, and if you are not clear with the checkpoints, with the parameters, then you might get confused as well. So I hope this video proved to be informational. It was short and crisp. Based on your suggestion, your comments, I will see that do I need to explain the same concept through a reference chart, a case study chart as well, or we can straight away jump towards placing planets in different divisional chart and starting to decode their probable results. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. Okay, at a time when I'm finishing this video, it's 11:11. So yeah, it's lucky, it's auspicious. So yes guys, for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.